We are the first generation of humans who have access to incredible science, so we can see inside our bodies and tell what is going on. And I would love as many of us as possible to take advantage of it so we know what's working and what still needs work. How lucky are we? I'm Jules Walters, a health coach for women over 50, helping you to become the CEO of your health. Yes, you got it. The Chief Executive Officer, the one who's in charge and the one who owns it. I've spent decades in healthcare as an entrepreneur and a CEO. And what I've learned is that many of the answers to a long and healthy life are up to us. Like you, I'm over 50 and I'm a big believer in the power of women to adapt. Let's face it, we've done it before. And my message to you is that I absolutely believe that you can become the CEO of your health. You are the expert on you. As a health coach, I've seen many women make the journey from being, frankly, fed up and frustrated to being empowered and encouraged. They've done it by making small tweaks to their habits that together made all the difference. I call them Nano Health Habits, and I've written a book about it called, predictably, Nano Health Habits. These are small steps which, built one on top of the other, can transform our health. And that's what this podcast, The Health Refresh, is all about. If you're a busy woman who wants the best for herself and her family and is not prepared to accept that what you have now is as good as it gets, then you're in the right place. Welcome, my friend. Welcome to the Health Refresh team. I'm so glad you're here making the time for you. And I know that's not easy. One, it's not easy to find the time, and two, to know what to do. It seems nearly every day we're being sold the idea that this or that magic pill or injection is going to solve everything. But the reality is that no one has yet discovered the elixir of youth. There is no one fix for a longer, healthier life. What we do have, though, are nano or micro habits that together make all the difference. And in this podcast, we're going to unwrap those nano health habits together, step by step, one at a time. Today, we're going to talk about 4 pillars of my approach to health. We talked about the first pillar last week, and that was mindset. And I think it's worth repeating what it takes to really believe you are the CEO of your health. Some of you may have always thought of yourself as the keeper of your health. You've taken advice and guidance, but you've decided what is right for you right now. But for some of us, being CEO of our health could be a new concept. In episode 1, we talked about how doctors are busy, helping people who are sick. And if you're not well or you have a medical condition, then a doctor is absolutely the right person to see. But if, like me, you're well and you'd like to stay that way, then a doctor is not the one in charge. You're the one who decides what's on the end of your fork and who plans how much movement you're doing a day. 2 of the key influences on our health. So that's the first pillar of my approach to health, mindset, understanding that the only person who's going to make the daily lifestyle tweaks to stay healthy is you. My second pillar is the idea of inside out. That is to start on the inside. If you can nudge the inside of your body to work well, then the outside will show it. So let me give you an example. When our skin is feeling dry and tight, it's tempting to find a quick fix in an expensive face cream. That hyaluronic acid sounds like it might do the trick. It retains water after all. Now that's an outside-in approach. Or we might try the inside-out approach first. That would be to drink enough water each and every day. Now women should drink 11.5 cups of water each day. That's the recommended amount and an example of an inside-out approach. When I was studying molecular genetics, and that's all about how our DNA or our body blueprint works, through that work in the lab, I got used to looking at the very small. Women have over 28 trillion cells. That's a lot. And our wonderful little cells work for us every day and are organized into tissue types, like our lungs, our heart, and the biggest organ in our body, our skin. And they all need water. So I love to focus on making sure our cells are okay first, and as a result, our body has what it needs to work well. That's what I mean by inside out. That's pillar number 2. Pillar number 3 is nano step by step. Our health is built on the many little habits we run each day, without thinking. That's what makes them a habit. And we do them automatically, without thinking. And we humans are wired for habits. We love them. It helps us get through the day. It's tempting to think that we need to make a dramatic change to become healthy. But the reality is, it's the little or nano habits, built one on top of the other, that together make all the difference. Did we go to bed at a reasonable hour? Were we able to get into a deep sleep? What did we have for breakfast? Did we get to move before we sat at a desk? Do we have people in our life who care for and uplift us? That's step by step, one layer at a time. So that's pillar 3, step by step. Then there's pillar 4, guided by data. We are the first generation of humans who have access to incredible science, so we can see inside our bodies and tell us what's going on. And I would love as many of us as possible to take advantage of that incredible science so we know what's working and what still needs work. How lucky are we? For example, we have really professional blood pressure monitors that we can use at home to the same standard as our doctor is using. So we don't have to wait for our annual health checkup to see those critical numbers. That's a simple thing we can do at home. Then there are metabolic tests that look at your DNA, your blueprint of life, and let you know how your metabolism is coded, how you're different from everyone else, and how to work with your trillions of cells in a way that's right for you. And that's what I mean by guided by data. Part of being the CEO of your health is knowing your numbers, knowing what they mean, and knowing what influence you have over them. Your daily choices will have a big influence on what comes next for you. So there you have it. My 4 pillars of health: mindset, seeing yourself as the CEO of your health, inside out first, step by step, and guided by data. I'm also building a powerful community of women who will support each other on their health journey. And I'll be sharing more details about that over the next month, so stay tuned. I trained as a health coach through the Institute for Integrative Nutrition in New York, and through that experience, I learned how many of us can get stuck on our health journey and maybe even give up. Maybe we've tried things in the past that worked for a little while and then didn't. So I'd love for you to think of me as your personal guide and champion. I will always be cheering you on every step of the way. My promise is that you will come away from each and every podcast with at least one piece of news you can use. That's one idea that you can put into practice in the next week or month or whenever you're ready. As I will be saying each week, you are not helpless. You are a strong, powerful, and resourceful woman. You don't need to know everything right now. You just need to take one step forward. It can help to create a vision of what health means to you. I've put together a simple guide to get you started, and you can find it at juleswalters.com/vision. That's juleswalters.com/vision. It's a free resource, and I hope you find it useful. So that's it for this week. Before we go, I need to make clear, if I haven't already, that I am not a doctor. I'm a health coach, and my lane is lifestyle and how it affects our health. If you have a medical condition or suspect that you might be developing one, then a doctor is the right person to see. Okay, that's the legal bit done. Next week, we're going to talk about one aspect of my health journey that has been transformational through one piece of powerful data about my body that changed everything. So see you here next week, same time, same place.